YouTube, what's really good? It is your guy Hitch. I hope everyone is enjoying their summer. I promised you guys this video some time ago, so I do apologize for the delay, but the time is here. It's time to talk about one of Action Bronson's latest New Balance releases. Action Bronson has actually been doing some collaborations in the past with like Adidas and Asics, but he's now partnered with New Balance and he's been delivering. Last year he gave us two different 990 V6s, and the Lapis Lazuli colorway actually had that as a top 5 sneaker last year. But this year he's upped the ante. He's given us not one, not two, but 3 different 1906Rs, and he delivered. Now, all 3 of the releases were absolutely trash, but I was able to pick up this Rosewater colorway, and I gotta say, he has like this abstract way of using colors to put together a colorway, and I love it.
Kill pussy, it ain't got not live. Hard tumble like a Nissan. Brain that's 10 man. Hit a clone with the pizza. Room with the kickstand. Kick it, that's bang. Your team full of has-been. No hope like a Knicks fan. No we and I just mad cause I been here.
Before we dive into all the details and features of these Rosewaters, and trust me, there are lots of them, I want to talk about the inspiration behind the colorway and Action Bronson's approach and vision, because I really do think it's a bit genius. So the colorway is inspired by Action Bronson's love for women colorways and releases that he used to cop from back in the day. And he even stated this sneaker is what happens when women aerobics meets him. Now, as far as his approach to this model, he made some subtle changes to the structure of the sneaker, which I'm kind of a fan of, and I love to see collaborators try to execute on. So typically with your 1906R model, it has a mesh construction upper, and then it has like these different materials used on the overlays throughout the uppers, whether it's leather or suede, like you can see on this tie-dye colorway, but that's not the case with these Rosewaters. So Action Bronson did keep the mesh construction upper, but he thinned it out a little bit. He went with a soft mesh that has this honeycomb design, and he gave it this mint color. And I gotta say, this mint color is fire because it plays tricks on your eyes. Sometimes it looks white, sometimes it looks green, depending on the setting, and I'm a big fan of it. And then he did go with a soft gray suede overlay that wraps around the toe box and is used on the lace loop, but that's where he stopped using those natural material overlays on the uppers, unlike what would happen on the typical 1906R. Instead, he went with this fused overlay that has silver accents that gives the sneaker a really completely different look, which I really do like. And then he also did keep the end logos on the lateral and medial sides that does have the metallic outline, and gave it a twist with the different shades of blue. Underneath the end logos and around the eye stay area, you're gonna notice these pink undertones that pop out and just gives a different effect to the upper of these sneakers than you'll normally see on your 1906s. And then on the back heel, you still have the signature TPU heel cage still intact in this fuchsia color, but underneath it, Action Bronson added another material in this burnt orange color, and it looks like those thick fuzzy socks that chicks used to wear back in the days. Again, what happens when woman aerobics meets Action Bronson. And finally, the uppers are finished off with 3M accents throughout it, where you would typically have those overlays on your regular 1906Rs, along with the blue hang tag that says Baklava New Balance 1906 in white and yellow.
Forgotten society.
I always talk about how I love multiple laces with my sneakers, but Action Bronson hates that idea.
None. They come as is. I don't want you changing my shit to painting. You don't go up to a fucking painting and put another stroke on it.
And even though I don't agree, I respect it. So these Rosewaters are gonna come with these Volt and yellow construction laces. Yes, construction laces. He's been doing this since the 990 V6s, and every time he does it, they look good and I love it. It pays homage to his previous job as a construction worker. Underneath the laces, you're gonna have the pink tongue that's made out of the same honeycomb mesh from the upper, so it's nice and soft. At the top of the tongue, you have the new tag that says Baklava New Balance 1906. Then you have light gray mesh used on the back of the tongue and for the inside lining of the sneaker. And down at the bottom, you have the black insoles that say Baklava, New Balance, and Volt.
Same thing in the B-side. Can't stop, won't stop, cause it's not in my design. No, till I don't wanna own it. I just wanna get my lease on. On the road to the riches, disobeying.
At this point, I've counted 7 different colors that Action Bronson has used on this colorway thus far, and he did not stop. He added even more colors as we get down to the midsoles and outsoles. So you have purple, this peach color, along with this tan/burnt orange on the midsoles, along with the translucent pods in the heel and the translucent midfoot plate. When you get to the outsoles, he finishes everything off using red, brown in the toe and midfoot area, and then royal blue in the heel area.
Ask for a verse, giving no waiver. Price went up, head crack, all black with the trench coat, blade that. Take straight for a retweet, say that. We struggle, they eat this payback. Same thing in the fuck you.
Man, shout out to Action Bronson. Seriously, I said before that his approach and vision is genius, and I really mean it. For someone that aspires to work in the footwear industry, designing and creating their own colorways, his approach is really inspiring, and it's not the first time he's blown me away. Like I said, those Lapis Lazulis from last year were a top 5 sneaker to me. I counted 16 different colors on this shoe. That is nuts. His approach to color is just different. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use that many colors on a shoe and it looks good. And when I look at this sneaker, I legitimately see a girl from like the 90s working out. And it's not just the color, subtle stuff like the material on this back heel. I remember chicks wearing thick fuzzy socks, and that's what that material reminds me of. And then there are other times where I look at the sneaker and I just see something a little classy or rich, and it's because that mint upper looks really, really good tied in with those subtle 3M accents. It just gives the sneaker a really, really good look to it. I'm really impressed. Because he used that thin mesh upper, these sneakers do feel a bit more comfortable. It has like a softer feel to them when you put them on compared to the regular 1906s, but I do recommend you still go true to size. There were also 2 other colorways that dropped last month. You had the Medusa Azul and the Scorpius. Now, all 3 releases were absolute trash. That they do have to improve upon. Now, because of that, if you were not able to cop these at the retail of the 185, we're in luck. They're gonna have a re-release, which will be done globally on July 12th, where these and the Medusa Azuls will re-release for retail. So I got my fingers crossed. I need those Medusa Azuls. That was a sneaker that I've always had my eye on when all 3 sneakers were announced. In the description of this video, I will also provide you the list of stores that I know that are going to be participating in that global re-release. So check out the description. Now, on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm giving these a solid 4. Very impressed. Again, I had my eyes initially on the Medusa Azuls, and these really impressed me. So I'd love to know what you guys think about them. Hit the comments, let me know. Also, are you gonna try to cop on that global release on July 12th? If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up, and if you have not done so, subscribe to the channel and make sure your bell notification is turned on so you don't miss anything. I'm out.
No kick from the field and I stay fly. Pull up, only question with the bed line. Kill pussy, it ain't got not live. Hard tumble like a Nissan. Bring that's Tim Man.